Ads are starting. Dylan will continue the conversation after the ads are over. Thank you for supporting the stream.
And there was much rejoicing.
Hello?
Hello.
Everybody, I'm not even gonna start. It's just one of these days. So we are having some challenges, as you can imagine, with the latest update. No big deal, I suppose. I'm also noting that I'm hearing things talking to me that I should not be hearing. So yeah, that's not good. I have cables talking to me that should not be making noises. So yeah, we're gonna have an interesting day and see how that goes. Something is on the same line as the speaker bot, and I don't know what it is. Unless my audio mixer is actually allowing speaker bot to talk to me. It is. That would explain a lot. Phones, don't talk to me anymore. Shouldn't be able to, but it is. Just you guys should hear it. I shouldn't. That's the whole point. Yeah. One of those days. All right. Let's rock and roll. The vast majority of my mods are not working, surprise, surprise, and that's okay. We're just gonna roll. I have no idea what I'm doing today other than I am not playing with the Nowhere Man. I'm very frustrated with the way he looks, and I need to clear my head on that one before I can get too much further on building it. Organic shapes are not my friend today. That's okay, you know? Stuff happens. Yes. Right, okay. Be faster. Is there anything else in here? Spread these everywhere they possibly can be, and the game will figure out holes later. Yeah. Alright. There's always errands, right? There's always errands to figure out. Which way do I want to go? This way. I like the dogs, but frankly, that was my shortcut to get through things. One of the first things you'll notice quickly is I do not have the extreme sound muffler. So yeah, that'll be interesting. This is gonna get kinda noisy. Alright. Actually, maybe I'm being silly. I don't know. Let me take a look and see about the project I've been avoiding, and we'll see what we look like. Still don't like it. Okay, well. You see, we don't have the distance vision today. That's alright. What I think might be a smart plan, it's not a whole lot of usefulness to you guys. I think today's project is going to be just grabbing a whole bunch of the dirt and stone and whatnot and filling holes under the base. Because we're getting mobs that just surprise me once in a while, and not a huge fan of that, so that's probably what I think I'm going to be doing, and maybe a little bit more of the terraforming stuff. It's not the world's most exciting content. We're going to need to do some sand mining, the next project, which is going to be fairly basic, so we could always do that as well. And actually the next project might become this project, so we'll see. Right. Now let's start with the underground stuff. So we're trying to fill holes. Couple blocks. What? Oh, right. What is it? I don't know why it says I have new recipes unlocked. That's interesting. Shouldn't have, but that's alright. We're gonna go there. Oh, hang on a sec. I bet you I know what it is. Nope. That's not it. So, I don't know. Who knows? Who cares? Let's see. Where were we? This one. Where was I that I wanted to go underground? I think it was over here. Okay. I think it was over there. Probably should take a trip to the spider farm to get the XP, but at the moment I'm a little worried about doing that just because of the noise. Yeah. Okay. Is this the one? No, that's the one I want to fill with water. We can do that project too. That's actually probably another one we could do. I was thinking of one of two things: either fill it, or plug it manually, or fill it with water. I would rather kind of have it manually plugged. Let's see. Thank you everybody for coming in. I'm just gonna take a quick pause because, as you can tell, I'm a little off kilter. Surprise, surprise. And we'll just see who we miss saying hello to, because that's always key. And for once, Bobby's not complaining at me, because Bobby's not on my screen. Ooh. So let's roll right back. Christine Frog, thank you very much for catching my attention. First things first, it's Tuesday, and I know I'm actually only half hour till I'm normally done on Tuesdays, but even after talking to Fantastic Sherlock Fox this morning about the fact that it was Tuesday, I completely and utterly forgot that I start at 9 on Tuesdays, so yeah. And then I troubleshot a little bit to try and get things going to actually be functional. As you can tell, was not working so well. So what we're going to do is we're going to go, we're going to take that hour shift to go a little bit longer, but I will stop at, whatever the heck it is, like an hour and a half from now, basically. So yeah, that's the piece. Christine Frog was definitely the first here, much rejoicing, and thank you very much. And good morning to you, Mama Bear. Thank you very much for coming on by, given all things considered. And hello to you, Jay. Thank you very much for coming by as well. Hope you had a half-decent day. I think we're okay. Let's see. I have a bed. Woohoo! That's part one. I have a bed. Today is one of those weird days where I am swirling more than a walnut factory at harvest time. Question is, do I want to go under? I plugged a bunch of holes, so I'm trying to decide, do I want to go under the base? It's daytime, come on. Where? Oh, that's my question. From where? Probably on this side, I think is where I was seeing things. Let's take the bed with us. Fly. That'd be sensible. You can always deal with the chaos. There's a little cave back in here that I can hear, and I think it's somewhat isolated from this thing, but it has a good number of spiders in it, so it's definitely causing some headaches. I think there's a cave under there. How did I get in? Down this way? Sorry, not what I want. Cross mode, boring cross mode. Sure, we can do that. Done. I have some of my cheats with me, but not all of them. That was not the direction I wanted to go, so here I might as well light up anyway. That's it. That's it. So, okay, this could be backfilled. That's not going under the base, so let's not put that. It's not a priority. It's this. Huh. Okay, well, that's a little more problematic. One in there. Here. This will do for now. Yeah, that's most of it. Run, get out. Okay. Okay. Huh. Interesting, because I was digging under here, trying to figure out where all the mobs were coming from. And I'm not seeing it. There's the hole. Thought I left the hole. Maybe I covered it. Okay. Let's go in. Not there. Ah, there we are. So I keep seeing zombies and such on this side. Maybe I should just go down there and deal with it. Not hearing or seeing anything. I'm obviously not spending enough time in that spot. Then, instead, given that I'm obviously not seeing what I need to be seeing, I'm going to just start filling up the other hole down here, and we'll see what happens. Is this the one? Yeah, that's the one. I know where this goes. I do not know where the hole on that side goes. Let's start with just filling out the bottom of this one. It's not exactly the world's most exciting project. I'm going to want the space anyways because I want to do another carpet art. It's not going to be next, but I'm going to do another carpet art of the Beatles, and I need it to be flat, like fairly flat. So we might as well just start filling holes while we got the materials. Yeah. God, I'm relying on autofills that aren't functional at the moment because, you know, I'm actually playing like playing closer to being like a normal person. So for those of you that are currently in Minecraft of late, what have you been working on? I'm curious to know. Because I've been a little bit head down, not even paying attention to what's been going on in the community Discord all that much. Just, I can blame camp, but not always a thing. That's it. But I seem to be a little bit out of touch lately. And something needs to be rectified. I'm just curious what people have been up to. Don't believe we just completed your moss farm, your first moss farm. Cool. So is it an automatic moss farm, or do you actually have to stand there and do stuff? I don't think I've actually built a moss farm. I did use moss this season, so maybe that's one of those things I should throw on the idea list. It's automatic. Ooh. Ooh. Was it complicated? It's by your measure. I mean, if it involves the word Delenn, it's going to be complicated. Not because I actually do complicated things, but that everything's complicated. You've cleared out an air saloon. Interesting. A saloon. That's a different spot. I'm assuming you're meaning like a Western themed bar of sorts. Well then, Mama Bear, I think I will put that on the list of ideas. Idea moss farm. So that at some point, whether it be this season or next, it will show up, hopefully. Because that is something I have never done before, is an automatic moss farm. We really haven't done an automatic tree chopping farm in ages. Actually, I don't think I've done an automatic one ever. I just ended up with, reasonable collection systems for the manual tree chopping. Whereas this year I just went fully manual. And I thought that would do. I'm learning it doesn't, but, can't win them all, right? Ah, yes. Cool. I'll be looking forward to hearing more about that, Jay, because I've seen one just several seasons ago. I saw one, but it wasn't, it was great, but you could definitely tell that it didn't have the advantage of some of the additions we've had since. So, nice to see another take on that concept. I'm looking forward to it. Actually, Jay might even know what season that was where we've had before. I can't remember who built it. Might have been Alex. But anyways, it was in the shopping district at the time. And, oops. Too many. And that was the year I built the massive flower. Which is how I met Jay. Oddly enough. But I think you'll do a very unique take on it that I'm looking forward to hearing more about, because that was pretty awesome. I pulled up my farm, my massive flower build the other day, just not for nostalgia reasons. I just wanted to see how tall it was. And yeah, it was tall, but I was putzing around that world because we had a download of it. I'm actually out of sync. I'm missing a few of the downloaded worlds. But I was puttering around there and reminding myself again why I never want to do another post office. Because, well, okay, not a post office that doesn't trust the server members. I was too new to the server, and so I did a redstone post office that really didn't need to be anywhere near what it was. Hey, it was a great time to learn redstone, and so I get a lot of the concepts. And it's still, something that every once in a while when I need a little bit of a pick-me-up in the I can do it, whether it's necessary or not, I can do it category, I fire that one up and have a look. Sometimes, morale boosters are useful. The other thing it reminds me of is I am getting better with spiders, still not so good with heights. But having done now a large flower and a large bee block, slowly ticking off the list of things I want to do. That's actually part of why I've got that command you just saw me use, the idea thing. What that does is, if the bot's working correctly, what it does is it throws an idea into a spreadsheet on Notion. Yes, there was lots of quartz in the post office. Lots and lots of quartz in the post office. And lots of redstone, too. And lots of everything. There were... What do we have? I think I was told there was 21 people on the server, and I wanted to give some more flex for growth, because I didn't know how much growth we would have that year. And so... I think I had 40 slots, at the post office. And each one of them was 2 floors tall, with a security box piece. So people paid me a diamond and give me 2 items that they had custom named, like 2 of the same, and then one was the key that they got to keep, really, and the other one was it was just a filter item that filtered for their custom key. But of course it failed 10 seconds in. Not that anybody needed to cheat with it, but the concept failed 10 seconds in because of the not full blockness of chests. Yeah. So much for that idea. And besides, even though it's in a game, there's an awful lot of people, including myself, who are kind of too lazy to go upstairs, like to a totally separate level, to mail somebody something. Kind of nice to just grab whatever mailbox you want and just throw the thing in there. When you think about it, the mailboxes we tend to use, because we now trust each other, the mailboxes we use on the servers since that period have all been ones where, yes, there's redstone, but it's just basically a light on your box to say, hey, you've got mail. And that's awesome. I like that stuff, that style. But really, it's kind of like a light attached to what used to be, in the country, to have a big row of not really mailboxes, but little holes, more lacking a term, where the delivery person could just roll up and stuff your newspaper in there on your delivery route, and everything was open to the environment and open to anybody and everybody. You weren't allowed to lose our keys. Well, yeah, that was my other thing, was I was an idiot back then and charged for all kinds of things, and I don't anymore. Actually, this season I haven't even got a shop. Fox figures that there'd be a bit of irony in if I put out a shop of spider supplies. No, just no. Even though I could stand at the AFK farm for a while, just no. I don't see a point. And besides, it's late enough in the season that we're actually doing better with our own version of Silly Express rather than actually bothering with much in the way of shops. Other than, I mean, like, they look really cool. We still go there and it's a one-stop thing. It's awesome. But it's not a, anybody needs it anymore kind of thing. In terms of going, like, if you don't know who's selling the whatever it is, just ask in the Discord. Somebody will either have it and be willing to gift it, or they will tell you who's selling it, and you just make an arrangement with that person to connect up and, get the stuff. And usually I'm so ridiculously behind the times in a lot of things that I don't end up actually having a shop until it doesn't matter. This one up now here. The other side of this. No, actually. I thought about it. I thought about playing modded, but it got corny. I mean, maybe. We'll see. And we'll have to see what the set is, or what the, pack is, but I have not been up on the modded to know what is, I guess, the current one. One of the nice parts about modded, though, is I do like the fact that a lot of them have some format of progression to it. And I guess that's self-fulfilling content, in a way. My problem with modded, to be honest with you, is the fact that there's just so many different things on modded that can lag or clog the server. You will be. Ooh, that sounds awesome. Oswin is talking to himself. That's a little weird. Dude. I know you're crazy, Oswin, but that's a little over the top. We don't need a George Costanza day. I do sort of talk to myself, I guess, a little bit around here, but not quite that bad. All the... yep. Server Destroyer. Gotta love it. I mean, because all the mods, 9 was the last time I jumped in. Because I remember doing sort of the Halloween witchy magic-y stuff right around Halloween last year. Wearing a costume. Like, on stream, it was wearing those parts. Meat juice! I guess we could do it again. If people wanted to see that. I don't have a problem with it. I just don't have a theme that would be worth going back into that, though. I'm in a hole. Okay. Truth be told. Ooh. Gee. Where are those guys? Uh-oh. Okay, they're not in... Alright, they're not under the base. They're a little more annoyingly close. I'm gonna pretend that doesn't exist till the creeper comes up and blows me up. Sure. Why not? With all the mods, I find it actually even harder to have a theme or focus. One of the things I spent way too long on last time was the chemistry sort of thing. I was trying to do all the elements, and I just... Yes, I could do it, but without a focused direction. There was a mod pack that actually focused on that at one point. And without a focused direction on the chemistry thing, it got the kind of thing that I would enjoy in terms of just like doggedly pushing through to get it all. But that doesn't make for great content. And I assume, as with the previous seasons, the modded server will not have fire tick turned off, so that I can go and burn down my little shacks again. That was kind of funny. Lava farms should not be built in wooden roofed houses. And it took me longer to notice because it was acacia, so things were orange to begin with. And then it's like, oh, I guess that's on fire. Some things like the meat juice, once you get the industrial farm going to get yourself the meat juice and stuff, it's a little overpowered. And there's way too much goop. Like energy goop and XP shower goop and all that kind of stuff. It's tempting. I haven't played modded in a while. I could definitely use that break. However, my modded right now is actually not really Minecraft. What I mean by that is that I've been playing a little bit of Astroneer with the kids. My son's played through the base game, and there's apparently an expansion coming soon, but we decided to play on a server together, and I don't understand a lot of what things are, what stuff does, you know, what even some of the base minerals look like. I mean, some of them look like macaroni noodles, and it's some sort of resin or something, but it looks like macaroni noodles or worms, and I don't get it. You know, and there's apparently story, but because my son's played through the base, he's very quick at explaining things and glosses over stuff. To me, it's very Minecraft-esque in space, because you have to mine for all your resources, and you have to craft the things with like using modded machines, basically, is what it reminds me of, to do the things. And yet it's also my speed in a way, because although there are environmental factors that'll kill you, like you running out of oxygen.
Hello.
Or hello. Hey Bob, how you doing? Hopefully you had a good day. There's environmental factors like that will kill you, or you can fall off a cliff, or get yourself stranded in space, or you know, these sorts of things. But there's no mobs that are going to come up and clobber you. There are plants that can kill you if you get too close, and there's some that will chuck you up in the air, which can be good, but if you're near a cliff and you get chucked up in the air, well, obviously that's a problem. So that's what I've been doing, and that's one of my backup things. One of the other pieces... Oops. Oh, that's a good reminder that it's nighttime. One of the other pieces that I've been thinking of is doing a bit of an offline test to start a metal galaxy build. So basically it's one of those metal projects. Excuse me. That's a lot like a... kind of like a Gundam in terms of... or like a model set that you put them together. But before I stream it, Fox highly recommends that I figure it out a little bit on how to run them or do them on my own, at least to get the first one started. But that's something I've thought about doing. I've had a few that have been kicking around for a while, and there's plenty others that are available, and I just haven't done them before. But they're a nice alternative to Lego once in a blue moon. So seeing as I've caught up on most of my Lego backlog for now, I don't know what's going to happen if there's anything next month or coming at Christmas. I don't buy my own Lego most of the time. I just like, ooh, that set's really neat. And then at some point in the year before it retires, it shows up. Most of the time, not all of them. I mean, like, there are some that I say, that's neat, but please don't buy that one because I think it's too expensive. And there's more and more and more hitting that threshold these days. So those are some of the things I'm looking at. I really do want to get going on the Beatles thing. The Nowhere Man is quite disappointing me, so what I might have to do is shelve that one. And, as in tear out the partial that we've got, just because it looks dumb. And move on to a couple of the other references I had in mind. They're a little more vague, but we get to move on. There are other statuesque projects I'm fairly certain I can control even easier than the Nowhere Man. So, and they're not circular, which is also nice. You know, I can whinge about that all day. There's lack of confidence, and then there's like, I don't know, organic just looks dilapidated. Gut has rolled. Perfect, thanks, Jay. 2 characters that turn into humans. Disney, specifically. Okay. I have an easy one for that, but I'm going to see if you guys have one first. I don't want to interrupt. They say animation, so that's the tough part, because they're not actual like characters per se. Plenty of humans that turn into other things. For example, we have, I think it was Lampwick in Pinocchio. Definitely turns into a donkey. That's the one that first occurred to me. Characters. Yeah, Pinocchio, you're right. Right, actually, because it doesn't have to be an animal. And Little Mermaid went human. Ariel, of course. Excellent. So then, Jay's got it. The 2 I was thinking, actually, originally, was Jack and Gus, the mice from Cinderella. Even though they don't stay human, they got turned into footmen for her carriage. When Cinderella goes to the ball with the prince. We've got Pop Culture Party. 6 actors who've never starred in a film, series, or sequel. Huh? Oh, I see. Okay, so ones that do one-off films but won't do films that have sequels. Gotcha. Initially, I would have thought Meryl Streep, but that's not the case. As far as live-action movies go, I don't know if Tom Hanks has ever been in something that has sequels to it. And I say live-action because he's definitely done the entirety of the Toy Story series. Maybe Gary Sinise. That's the other one I'm thinking of. Maybe. It's actually quite a lot, but never in their entire career is the challenge. We may have to roll that one on spec. Let's see, I'm going to see if I can get my timer started for that, so that if we don't roll it, then I can manually do it. Or anybody else can either. Button. Question of the day. What word do you think you use most often? Probably a tie between alright and yeah, as in, so yeah. So, yeah. That's a thing. That fits in nicely with the topic I had the other day with regards to what sorts of words we feel we've picked up from other people. Because I definitely think that I picked up using the term janky from watching Dadcraft. And sometimes the phrase jacked up, although I don't usually use that one. That's more of a regional thing, I suppose. But things have become jankified and janky quite easily. Kind of like saying, tell me you're a part of the Dadcraft 73 community without telling me you're a part of Dadcraft 73 community. I mean, another way of doing it is to say, I know about Food Noob. It's a scam, definitely. Scam, yep. Things are scams. You mean scammed? Like the gumball machine on the Bedrock server? Yeah. I think I've now managed to get high enough. I have definitely connected both ends of that weirdness to one together. I just happen to have a whole ton of dirt, so we're going to fill with more dirt. I think it's awesome being a part of this community because there's so many cool people. Crying all around. Yeah. Crying around. Oh boy. We've got some weird audio. Crying around, crying all around. Yeah. For sure. Oh, that's the other one. For sure and for certain. I love it. I love it. It's funny because some of people would say the phrase crying around or complaining a lot. You know, like there's other ways of saying the same thing. But we don't just cry around anymore. We cry all around. I mean, the corollary would suggest that there's some, you know, crying some around, but that doesn't really make sense either. We have to go crying around about it, right? I noticed one of the other community members, Max Money, last night said that he's starting his 4th year of streaming. That makes him, stream-wise, older than me, which is good news. But still, he was one of the people who was part of the, I guess you'd say, the first wave of DC community people who were streaming not because of the DC community, but definitely were streaming as a part of that. You might as well cry all around if you're going to do it at all. I like that. That's true. You guys are probably hearing the really weird janky audio out of the game too, because I'm monitoring what you're getting. I think it's just because of the way the dirt places. Normally I mute part of that. But it's kind of noisy. And a lot of it is that it's trying to duck my microphone while I'm yakking along here. Every time I shut up, it clears up a little bit. But now that I've seemed to have gotten the filters going in the right direction, hopefully the voice isn't as robotic as it used to be. If it does seem that way, the only cause I've got left that I'm aware of is the only cause I've got left that I'm aware of is that so for some reason some of the filters over the course of the stream, oh, that's a real deal. That the cause that I'm aware of is that for some reason some of my filters for some reason just seem to become less functional over the course of the stream, and I don't know why that is. Okay, I'm gonna do here this one, that one. Oh, well, no wonder. Yeah, that explains an awful lot. So this one's not meant to be turned on. This one. There we go. Yeah, okay, great. Nope, that's not quite it. Every time updates happen, things get a little weird around here. Let's see, info slot. Game time with offset? What the heck is that? No idea what that is. Game time. Huh. No offset, thank you. That confuses me. Format, I do not want seconds. Hours and minutes, please. For this. There we go. Nope, that's not right either. I don't know what we're getting. No big deal. No big deal, and then of course Dylan has to play with it, right? Hours and minutes. That should be AM and PM. Why aren't you giving me that? Whatever. Whatever. Okay, so... 54. Where were we working? I still need to fill this hole more, but I'm going to go to the opposite side and cut down some dirt from there rather than taking from inside. That way I don't have to worry about storage later. And yeah, we've got all this to fix, but I'm not going to fuss with that at the moment. Excuse me, Mr. Moo Cow. Oh, wow. Everything's choppy today. Oh, you guys are hearing that, I'm sure. Let's kill this. Almost fails. Shut down one of your browser programs. Oh, shut down the extraneous code reader. That would do it. Hopefully we can be a little more stable now. Oh, and I shut down Discord. So if there's any mod notes, I probably won't see them. Sorry about that, but there isn't usually. Actually, I won't see it on there. I will see it on my iPad down below. Music sounds a little more stable, which is good. So the map that seems to be updated right now for 1.21.3 successfully appears to be the journey map set, which I have some stuff marked on, not a whole ton, so every once in a while it throws me, and that's okay, because it's where my beacon beams were coming from. Oh, we still have those? I don't know. It occurred to me to even try without the journey map this time. That's something I probably should have done, is, you know, every time things update is a good chance to wear my big girl pants, but I just did not have the headspace to put into that today. Been a little bit low on jam lately. Oh, I did have a story to tell. Not that it's much, but we had our... You've been part of the Dadcraft... Yeah, there's plenty of people that have been part of the Dadcraft community for a good long time. I shouldn't say plenty, but I would say, Jay, you're definitely one of the older ones in that respect. Oliver may be a noob to the community by comparison, but fits in really, really well. And I think in terms of Streamiversary, like I was part of the Dadcraft community for a year, maybe two. Maybe, I don't know, I lost track. That, and you guys know I don't stay aware of the passage of time very effectively. But I was part of that before I started streaming, and it was partly largely Dadcraft, partly Tom, and a little bit of Stormy Owl. It's like that said, you know, if you're thinking of streaming, give it a try. And it was a bit of, if I can do it, you can do it. Yeah, well, I did. Partly because I was used to doing the, talked about this before, that I was used to doing Zoom meetings for youth. And so I already had the webcam going, and it wasn't long after that we had a microphone and so on and so forth. So it was a bit of an extension of that. And I just never stopped. Partly because I like it, partly because it keeps me sane. It sounds funny, but it's a bit like... Where I put it? I'm not trying to be impolite, that's the problem, and I don't want... There's no reason to be, but it reminds me on occasion of times like when you watch the movie Frozen, the Anna character, the younger sister, is going on at one point about talking to the pictures on the walls, and other times she's talking sort of to her sister, but her sister won't respond. So same sort of thing. It's kind of, in some ways, it's a little bit like, you know, like streaming, in that sometimes you're talking to yourself because there's just pictures on the walls. Sometimes there's pictures on the walls, you're just talking to yourself, and other times there's people there, but they either can't or won't respond very well. I have no idea what's up with the sound today. Control the decoat. Oh. Automatic roll, sorry. 2 sportscasters are former professional athletes. 2. That's a tough one. I'm not a sports person much, so I can only think of one. And he's Canadian, so that doesn't help. So, got the timer rolling on that one again. So basically, it's got an auto cooldown on the geek out of 5 minutes. But a mod or the broadcaster can... Mod or myself can roll it much sooner than that, anytime we want, really. So, apparently today's confusion is why do we have janky game audio? And yesterday's confusion was how did I break the poll system? Confusion of the day. I broke the poll system, then I fixed the poll system, because it turns out that actually a portion of the poll system I was not using correctly was the broken bit, and of course, as Twitch does, Twitch went to change the interface, or like the API system, so that things didn't make sense in a logical way for me, and I just had to change titles and stuff. Would have thunk it that that in my world, to terminate something means to like cancel it. Otherwise, I would say I would end it, and end it early, right? Whereas to Twitch, apparently, to terminate is to end, and to archive is a delete, which is the cancel. Beggar. Wow. Horrible sound today. I'm just going to mute and come back. Where is the game? What is it dropping below? It's making it sound so nutty. This change how I'm listening to it. That's even weirder. I have my monitor off. Yet I'm still hearing the game. Very confused. How does that work? No idea. Okay, well, yeah, I am very, very puzzled. Very, very puzzled. Hard to fix what you don't know the source to. So, okay, I said this the next project, or another project. One of the projects I want to work on, there is, in the Beatles' Yellow Submarine movie, there is a period where they sing When I'm 64. Most people know that one. But in order to do that, they talk about time going forward. So they have the time going backwards, and a lot of the Beatles revert to being little kids. And then they start rolling it forward to get them not to be little kids. But then the Beatles speedily get old and gray, so that's when they sing When I'm 64. Sure, no problem, Mama Bear. Thank you very much. Things would have worked out well if I hadn't messed up my schedule. So they sing when I'm 64 is that one. And I'm thinking, like, even though in the movie it's referring to like they have a clock with hands on it, so they're pulling on the hands. There's a very brief shot of a bunch of clocks and then pocket watches, and there's an hourglass in there, and I think that might be easier for me to pull off. Just given the skill level that I'm requiring of myself, I would love to do a pocket watch, something like that. But my personal skill level probably isn't there, at least not confidence-wise. So of late, I'm probably going to do an hourglass, which means we require a whole heap of sand, both for the sand in the glass and the sand the glass is made of. So we're going to need to do some mining streams. I need to figure out how to do a creative looking version. So I mean, there's a very basic hourglass, just a couple of circles and some pillar posts to hold it together, and then the shape in the center, sort of a double teardrop. But if I can do something more than that, that would be, you know, ideal, or a good goal to work for. But I'm still, like, I would love to do the pocket watch. If I can figure it out how to do both, great, but at least doing the hourglass gets the reference in. And I keep wanting to do something better than simply writing the word Lucy in the sky out of diamond blocks. That might be my reference in the end, but it's not what I really want to do. Okay, so this one, we're as flat as we need to be. Let's go back to the other side and stick this stuff in a hole. Server restart in 15 minutes. Yay! Start with the dirt or the stone. Starting with the stone just to fill it in, and then we'll move on to other stuff. Now I have a cave to worry about. So anyways, that's the project I'm looking at, because it's another one of those ones that is a bit more relaxing because it's something that's within my existing wheelhouse. We can also go back to getting ready for the second of the two carpet arts, which is just the Beatles in their Sgt. Pepper uniforms. So that's... Better leave a spot for me. There we go. So that's an easy piece to return to. I'm not sure what shook the confidence per se, as in what the trigger was. I really wish I knew, because that's happening far too frequently lately, and I want to nip that in the bud. But we'll get there. That's one of the advantages actually to modded, is that when it has a progression system for you, you don't necessarily need to think about, hey, am I any good at this? It just happens, right? Like modded just works, or it doesn't. You make a thing. Making a targeted thing. You don't have to be good at it. But that's also another reason to do things that people haven't seen before, meaning like decorative. Because if it's something people haven't seen, then they can't criticize what it looks like because they don't know. They've never seen it. Pros and cons all around. Okay. And I also have recognized of late, I was listening to my VODs for audio fix purposes, and I realized I'm whinging a lot, so I need to nip that in the bud as well, which often means more coffee, make sure I get the meds in early, stay on top of the schedule, you know, all that life change stuff. Okay, I'm hoping I don't hear Oswin this time. I thought I had it muted, but maybe I don't, so I'm not sure where his audio was coming from. If you guys get a duplicated echo ghosted sound, my apologies. Also, I turned down the ads yesterday. Had a bit of a conscience moment. So we should theoretically be having less ads than we did before. But if people pop in and pop out, then you're stuck with pre-rolls. Apologies. You know, it's one or the other. I was trying to avoid pre-rolls, and then I realized by avoiding pre-rolls, everybody who's had the pre-roll is still getting bit with all the other ads anyhow, and that's not fair. So, can't win them all. I had originally thought about doing something Halloween themed on Thursday, but I think I'm going to drop that notion in favor of keeping ideas like that for doing something different for my birthday. The day after my birthday, and that I don't know. It'll probably be a Lego stream for that one, or a craft stream of some sort. Rain. Weirdly, I'm not overplacing blocks as much as I usually do today. It's kind of surprising to me. Normally I do, quite a lot. Where do we start in 10? Ready? Yeah, we've still got the janky sound. I do not know. Probably trying to duck too many things.
Ads are starting. Dylan will continue the conversation after the ads are over. Thank you for supporting the stream.
Yep. There's that. I've only got about 40 minutes, and then this goes back into the bucket of sound troubleshooting. Ads are now finished. Woohoo! That's the other thing is, they used to be up to 1.5 minutes of ads, and I just said no way, no how. There's fewer than there used to be, less frequent than they used to be. Hopefully they're less intrusive. I don't particularly like pre-rolls, but the question is, is it the lesser of two evils? The thing about pre-roll ads, actually, is that pre-roll ads, I don't think any of the, that there's no real limit. So I've heard people have as much as 4 minutes, or possibly even more, of pre-roll ads. And it's almost like if we're only going to watch them once, then you're going to get a whole face full of them. Yeah, whatever. Hey, we're here, right? When I talk about comfort level, it also extends to streaming in a way that, but also extends to streaming in terms of the fact that that train just left the station. Oh, yes, that I was looking into potentially YouTube live streaming. Just more of a comparison thing. I'm comfortable enough with the Twitch system that I didn't understand the YouTube one very well, other than to see features it didn't have that I wanted, and so that wasn't a thing after all, because it just felt limiting. Not to mention, I got away with, shouldn't, but I got away with, on stream here at Twitch, using a clip of the Yellow Submarine movie. But apparently, on YouTube, that clip prevented my entire video from being seen at all, or monetized. It's not just the monetization part, but like, it was outright blocked. So, I clipped that bit, but it looks weird when I try to watch back. I guess I do need more dirt and whatnot from inside. So, ooh, crap. Hey, you guys. Aw. Hello. It's kind of cute though when they curl up, but they don't pull their heads in. It's a bit unrealistic. Ditch the sticks. Grab some more stone and dirt and stuff. One block there. One block there. One shulker box ought to do it for now. Ever restart in 5, huh? Making out here. Getting there. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. So I'm going to need a space as large as this. 8 by 7.5, 8 by 8. Even if I tuck it in tight, we've got to come out here. So we've got 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're just past this blue water thing. And if I center it around the mansion north to south, then we've got to go a little more towards this ravine. So definitely have to flatten out a lot of this in the middle. Feels like this is the year of flattening the world. Not a huge fan of that, but I did it to myself. I don't know who these songs are. This was nice though. Weak in the Knees by Victor Lumberg. Okay. Somebody's Epidemic Sound favorites list. Okay. I just hit go. After checking that it was Epidemic Sound stuff so that it would not be copyright because I'm paying for that license, I just hit go today. So I was actually almost expecting a mix that involved holiday favorites because we're getting close to that. Someday there'll be projects. And one of the advantages to doing an old cartoon when I get around to doing Reboot is that because people don't know what it is, I can kind of do whatever I want, I guess. There will be large statues of some of the characters, partly because I think they're neat, partly because certain ones, being very square, can be easily replicated, and other ones are more challenging, but there's ways to reference them without actually without actually dealing with the roundedness in a big bad way. Do I have enough? Yeah, I do. Are on 61, no. It's fine. about that. Tuesdays are a problem for me to be starting at the hour earlier. I mean, I had a reason at a time, and it closed it in behind me. So I have to figure out what I'm going to do about that. Do I want to keep going, like, and try to get organized? Make additional efforts to remember that Tuesdays are off, or just suck it up and shift by an hour. I mean, it messes up everybody else who follows me if they are bothered by that. So I don't know. Sometimes caring sucks. Oops. So we are partway through, I believe. Oops, actually, I can't check that. So we start in a minute. Excellent. At the top of the hour, we're all going to get hydrates of some sort. And, stretch. And then I'll use that as a bit of a mental reset, I think. Give a stretch. You know, get off. Excuse me. Get off my seat for a minute and see if that will help. Because, as I said, I'm feeling squirrelier than a walnut factory. Yep. Have a good day, Jay. Hopefully the trip goes well. Just go right through. Yes, it does. Another one of those filler up things. There's your reboot. Time to stretch. Grab a hydrate.
2, 4, 6, 8. Everybody hydrate.
All of my redeems sound loud today, or all my buttons sound loud today, so I need to figure that one out. Give me a quick second. I shall be right back.
Don't know if I'll dance with the lights on. If you're gonna be moving on
Okay, we're back. Let's get that hydrate in there. Farther away, but we have blocks to fill in behind us. Really, I should just probably cover over these things, but then we end up with a lot of noise on the face. And that's really why I'm not. Could argue it's for you guys. I mean, it is, but it's also for the other players in the server. Because if I just cover over all the caves, then I end up with a lot of mobs inside. Yeah. There's some watching on, maybe? No. Wait. Sometimes I think I need to take a mental break just to be able to focus again, but on other times I think that a mental break is good, then you don't get anything done. The 6-1 doesn't get it. That's fun. Yeah, I know I need to do that. It's so squirreled, but it's Tuesday, right? Think about it, because I've switched Lego to Mondays. Then Tuesday becomes, in a way, my Minecraft Monday, which is sort of silly since I got that a little earlier. Overthinking it. Oh, my son has Spirit Week at the school this week. And as part of his Spirit Week thing, they had Halloween-themed riddles. So the one he told me yesterday is as follows.
Hello?
Ooh, jeez. Hello? What is this? Line C. You can be quiet. So the riddle is as follows, and I can type it in if we need to. What was it? Oh yeah. The one who makes me doesn't need me. I think that was it. Yeah. The one who makes me doesn't. No, the one who makes me doesn't use me. The one who buys me doesn't need me. The one who uses me doesn't care. What am I? That's what it is. Yeah. Something like that. I just, yeah, the one who makes me doesn't doesn't use me. The one who buys me doesn't need me. And the one who uses me doesn't care. And the tip is the Halloween thing. So let's see. So if I have useless chat. No, but I will. This one for now. Move it. So here. Big chat. There we go. And it doesn't totally fit, does it? Line limit? Height. 200. Does that help? Gets there? Almost. Let's go. Oh. Okay, there we go. So it's on the screen, Fantastic Sherlock Fox. Took the time to type it. And it's not precisely the way he quoted it to me, I don't think. But that answer, or that the answer to it that he gave me still works here. So, for the Halloween week, that actually might be a good thing to switch out the question of the day, or switch to some riddles. You can also come up with the odd super fight. It's not a big deal. Something like that, except the one who uses it doesn't care. So I would be a little disappointed if somebody didn't care about a gift that I bought for them. So it's not a gift, and it's Halloween themed. I will tell what this is in about 15 minutes or so. So, I was going to talk about, actually, a little bit about the Halloween party we had last night. So, Scouts had fun at a Halloween party. Youth of all ages in our sections came. They had a few games, nothing too exciting. There was one that was, frankly, they basically did what was in essence beer pong minus beer. They had mini donut eating contests. So a donut tied to a string and hands behind the back, and then try to eat the powdered mini donut off the string. That was a popular one. They had, generic beanbag toss, and I'm trying to remember what the other one was. There was some other thing. And then after that, we had, there was dinner. Everybody, it's a dinner, whatever you want to call it. We served hamburgers and hot dogs. But kids got to eat first, so there's a few scouters that said, yeah, I'm going to have to warm up something when I got home. because they were still hungry. What else did we do? I'm trying to remember. Oh, and then we have our annual fundraising celebration as part of this. It's part of what we do at the party. And so, as part of the fundraising celebration, the youth try to reach a target amount of fundraising. This year, like popcorn, coffee, and teas, all from local area, or at least the companies are local. Obviously, tea isn't, but the company is local, and it's a roaster that does their own coffee and tea roasting up, and then we have a local company that does the popcorn, even though it's well known in Canada and the US about Scout popcorn. We have had enough problems with the popcorn companies in Canada, particularly that they're now out east, that unfortunately the western part of the country doesn't get a great product. So we've kind of had a tacit look the other way from the local councils that we do a popcorn fundraiser, so we're doing the same concept, but it's not the national selected supplier. And we also don't use their the national advertising stuff because it would have to be the same supplier. And it works a lot better in terms of like delivery dates and stuff because Scouting popcorn's a pre-order rather than something you can buy when a cake comes to your door or at the stand at the mall or something. And that's a bit of a drawback for us. I mean, I understand it's been done that way for decades, but it still doesn't help that Girl Scouts and Girl Guides have the upper hand because of the fact that they can have cookies in hand. So not always ideal. I hear you guys. Where are you? Must be in there. That's fine. Anyways, at the Halloween party, if the kids meet a target level, I think budget this year was based on kids or kids and their family working together to manage to get, I think it was $250 a person, which is the gross value, not the profit. That's not the family's problem. But based on that, one of the things the kids seem to love doing as part of the celebration for that is they like the opportunity that if you met the threshold, you get a chance to select one of the scout leaders and smack him in the face with a tin pie plate full of whipping cream. So yeah, that's their fun thing to do, I suppose. Most of my kids don't actually like that, and it's not. I mean, we didn't make the target anyway, so it's sort of a moot point. But my kids don't believe in that. They actually are quite bothered by the other kids doing it. One year, my son actually went off to another room and did a different activity, but that was when he was quite a bit younger. Now he just sits in the area with his back to people and whatever. We've got an incentive figured out such that if our kids wanted to sort of be a part of that, but didn't believe in the pieing thing, that we've worked out a situation where our kids could theoretically protect any particular scout leader they wanted to from one pie. So in other words, they'd be able to offer a one pie immunity. They wouldn't be able to block another kid's attempt to pie a scouter, but they could say if this scouter gets selected, the first one, the first time they get selected, that they can say, or they can say, nope, sorry, Scout, you've got to choose a different person to do that too. But my kids still didn't want to hit the threshold this year, so that's fine. They didn't want to put the effort in, which just means that, maybe they might actually have to do something else, as in put in effort on a different fundraiser at some point. Or if there's something they really want to do that is a little more expensive because of a lack of the group not getting as much fundraising, then maybe they might have to find some other way to help out. I don't know. It's never been an issue, but it's one of those things that it's a good I wouldn't say skill to have, But one of the other things that my daughter has offered to help with, she said she didn't want to fundraise, but she has sort of made noises about offering to help with what works out basically to be, in practicality, a grant application. So we have, there's a foundation in our scouting system where they've gotten, through a dinner and a few other things, they actually have some, geez, that was a good timing to scare me. They've actually got funding that they can use to help pay for some of the adventures the Scouts want to go on, help keep the costs low. So she's offered, to help with the presentation and potentially the application form and so on. So, I mean, it's another way of looking at it, I guess. And that part, I think, is definitely a life skill these days, to be able to know how to fill out grant applications. Whether it be for scholarships or whether it be for research or something down the line, depending on what career they choose, it's a handy skill to have. Oh yeah. So up here, Fantastic Shot Fox is pointing out that having a lot, it's a lot of product to keep on hand if you're doing, having things first. The US, I mean, there's quite a lot of different Girl Scout cookie flavors available. And so the door-to-door thing is, I don't know if it's much of a thing anymore, if it's just websites. I know it can be done on websites by some groups. But up here, it's still often a lot of physical door-to-door thing. I mean, some families put together websites for it. And I think there's a national one that you can get credited to a particular girl if you want to order online. But even so, there's still only 2 flavors up here. So there's, there's a chocolate. Actually, okay, let me correct that. In some seasons, we have like a mint wafer kind of thing. So that'd be more the fall, November run. And then towards the spring, they have one product. In both cases, it's just one product. In the fall, it's just the mint thing, and in the spring, it's just the mixed box of 2 flavors. And the 2 flavors are a chocolate cookie that has a chocolate filling, so it's not even trying to compete with an Oreo. And the other flavor is a vanilla cookie with a white vanilla icing. So there's definitely no competing with an Oreo. I believe they're made by, was it? Used to be Nabisco, but I can't remember who does it now. Maybe I got that backwards. But anyways, it's okay. Even with the limited flavor selection, because I hated doing that part as a kid. Before scouting was co-ed, the Girl Guides were the only option I had, and I used to hate doing the door-to-door cookie thing. Like, that was just part of the bane of my existence, you could say. Because I really don't like door-to-door sales. I'm a little, face-on-face-wise, I'm more or less introverted if I don't go in knowing I've got something in common with the person I'm talking to. And it's not even something simple as, like, I live in your neighborhood. That's not, we all know that we don't all talk to our neighbors. So you may never ever speak to some of these people and never have anything in common with them. So that's not a very good comparison. But anyways, so they've got the cookies to deal with. Our group has the popcorn and the tea and the whatever. And there will be other fundraisers throughout the year for specific projects that go to specific age sections. So for example, there will be other fundraisers we'll send out to the whole group, but we'll make it really, really clear that it's to be raising funding for one of the senior sections to, say, go on a trip to a jamboree, or going on something like the Pacific Coast Trail or whatever that costs a bit more because there's equipment rentals and major site bookings, and in some cases training for stuff like for canoeing. They had a canoe guide that helped them for part of their canoeing, and they also had rental fees for the canoes and the pools that would actually let them do training before they could go. So there's that kind of stuff. But then those fundraisers will be put out to the whole group, but made very clear in the fundraising that the money goes to the section that's going on this big trip, saved for the big trip. So that even if families from younger sections choose to participate because of whatever the thing is that the product is, maybe, you know, like when you're, I mean, we've done bacon a lot, actually. A lot of people like that one. Beef jerky. We do chocolates at one part of the year. I think it's near Easter. I can't remember. I think Easter's Purdy's. Or was it Christmas? We've done it at both times, so I can't recall. So we've got that. You know, but they make it clear that if these other groups participate, it goes to the different section. We do bottle drives and stuff, and we had a good bottle drive this year. Or like the fall one worked out well. All that to say, so the kids who had met their fundraising threshold last night got the chance to buy a scouter. In past years, sometimes there's a scouter or two who are, I don't know how to say, well known enough. They work with the senior sections, but well known enough as a face and a personality that the entire group knows them. So right down to the little kids and they're 5 to 7 years old know these people. So those scouters get targeted quite heavily, especially if they have facial hair. Well, one year they decided that was not appropriate to target the same person, because I think our scouter Chad got he got 14 pies that year in his face. Like that's just a bit much. So they decided on a rotation. Well, that didn't work out well, because then the kids not as enthused once they to do it the year after. Basically it failed, and they didn't get as much out of the fundraising because the kids really wanted the choice of who they were going to get. So they went back to allowing selections, but those that are targeted just have a funny habit of being busy and not able to attend to that party. Everybody else is okay with it, you know. So last night I got selected once by one of those scouts that's the generic boat rocker, who knows that I'm kind of on again, off again about his behavior. For the most part, I quite think he's growing in a good way. He's learning a lot from the program. It's fantastic for him in that respect. And he's becoming far more helpful and stuff. But there's some things he does that really still very heavily get under my skin. And when he's having a period where he just wants to act like that, then if it's take it or leave it, I'll leave it, you know? So he got me last night, and I just tried to negotiate with him, knowing it was kind of futile, but tried to say, okay, look, I will probably start coughing and gagging if you get it up my nose. This is not a good thing. Please don't do that. I said, you can mess around, you know, ears, face, ears, neck, hair, whatever. I'm fine with this. Or like, I will deal. Actually, because I didn't want to say I'm fine with it. I will deal, provided you don't stick it up my nose. And he was mostly cooperative. Mostly. I got the pie stuck in the face. I found out afterwards that our group committee, or group commissioner, because I was the very last person in the evening to get pie to the face, decided that he was going to finish off emptying all of whipped cream cans they had there into the pie. So it was like 3 times the size they normally would have. But anyway, yeah, so I got pied. It was sticky. It was gross. And the kid mostly kept it out of my nose, but he sticks it in my face, rubs it around, and then I could feel it, the pressure change, as his palm curled in so that as he rubbed it around, it would go up my nose more. I was like, you brat. But it didn't go as deeply as I had been concerned. Some of the kids, the way they angle the pie as they go to squash it in your face, tip it so that as they hit you in the face, they like shove it up your nose. And he didn't do that, so good. But yeah, I felt gross and sticky and had to have a shower last night. Okay, 4 books in which an evil government appears, depending on your point of view. There's quite a lot, but I would say my response to that would be Wow. Where am I? Yeah, I was gonna say 1984 is my bet. Really close to the water. Okay, 63. I don't want to be taking the trees out on that one. Got up to 63, which means this top layer needs to be dirt for everything to look right. And this section's too high up here, it has to come down. And this one, oh, we're down by 1, okay. So anyway, I got involved. You know, you do what you need to do. And the other reason I didn't feel too bad about being involved was because my kids didn't go for the threshold of the fundraising goal, then like to be able to do pies and stuff. They just didn't want to put in the effort to, well, frankly put, just to harass their grandparents. I guess is really what it comes down to. Then I didn't feel too bad doing my part to be involved if it helps other kids have enough fun that they want to put in the effort to get to that point. So, in a way, my fundraising was participating in getting pied. There you go. We did it at camp one year, and that none of the scouters liked it. Obviously, because who wants to be at camp like that? It was a camp where we had access to, warm, well, supposedly warm showers and stuff. But we only did it out at camp one year, and that didn't work. So, yeah. I'm glad we didn't this time. When we first started doing the pie in the face thing, we did the shaving cream thing because of so many of the scout leaders have facial hair. But we stopped doing that one because it ended up being more useful just to have edible stuff. This is 64 right here. So actually I should take that one out. This one. So, if I'm not organized tomorrow, which I probably won't be, I know there's more of this to be doing, but rather than fussing with this on camera at the moment, the on-camera work will be also exciting, and we'll go get ourselves some glass, and probably move on to the hourglass, I think. If I'm enterprising, maybe we'll go get ourselves some gold and start trying a pocket watch, but that's a lot of gold blocks. Do it in yellow, I guess, or if anyone actually, I suppose I could do it in what do you call it, in iron blocks from an iron farm, because there are sort of stainless steel watches. Maybe that's a better option. Maybe that's a better option. I'm not entirely sure. Does this go? Where does this go? Oh, dead end. Okay. So we've hit the top of the hour. The hour that I promised was the end. I'm gonna say I was just doing this, but I can one more thing myself to death. And the more I do this and say one more thing, also the more I'm doing this, the more I'm actually becoming quiet between ramble points. So that's a good hint that it's time to move on. We should probably catch up with Wolfman and see what she's up to. Considering she's been very quietly lurking, so I suspect she's double parking, and more power to her for doing so. Let's go and see if she's still live, and whether or not we can head on in there. Doo-doo-doo-doo. I see. Ooh. We've probably got approximately half an hour, but she's back on DC perks, so she's hanging out on this server, I think. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, she's here, so we can always be the sleep monster for her, if need be. But let's go on over that direction and get everything going. Fantastic Sherlock Fox, maybe you and I could touch base just for a couple of ideas and touch points. But just because I'm starting to wobble like a planet and need to reset. So, in the meantime, before it gets to be too dark, because it says daytime, but I don't trust it, let's get you guys over. I want to say thanks to those that did show up today and hung out with me for a while. I appreciate that. You helped keep me sane. We will get back to projects. I just threw me just how unsatisfied I was with the Nowhere Man. So that's got me a little bit off center. In the meantime, as I said, I will try and do something to either tear it down or get past wherever it's sitting now. But let's go over to Wolfen and see what she's up to, because it looked like a pretty neat stream when I was taking a quick peek there. So let's go. Raid. Oh, I can't spell. There we go. Button, button, button. Who's got the button? This one.
Mischief managed.
Alrighty. So Mischief has been managed. And thank you very much to Christine Frog for the clue spending. Also to Mama Bear 65 and Fantastic Sherlock Fox at the end for being our moderators. Thank you very much to Jay for being on top of things today and joining us, as well as Bob. Hopefully you guys had a great day. And we had good conversation from all of you guys, plus a little bit from Christine Frago. We're headed off to Wolfen. Have yourself a fantastic day, and I shall see you on the flip side. Bye-bye for now.
Talk to you, I'm better off not talking to you. But why you trying to hold on, wanna take a different lane,
Transfer complete.
so won't you let me go, wanna take this ball and chain that you have put on me and throw it out the window. I think that you should let it go, 'cause you know